On this episode of Survive and Thrive 8791, I welcome Max Weisbrod to the Buck and Honey's remote studios. Weisbrod's journey is proof that perseverance pays off. After going unrecruited by Division I schools out of DeForest High School, he excelled at Northern Michigan, earning Freshman and Player of the Year honors. Still dreaming, Max entered the transfer portal and found his perfect fit at Northern Iowa. Now he's living out his dream. This will be a good one. Here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What is up wherever you are or whatever you are doing? I hope you're having a great day. Welcome to another episode of Survive and Thrive 8791. I'm your host, Coach Decora. We are in the Buck and Honey's remote studios on the east side of our great capital city of Madison, Wisconsin. You can listen to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, and YouTube at Survive and Thrive 8791. You can follow the podcast on Facebook at Survive and Thrive 8791, the podcast. Don't forget to hit that subscribe or follow button wherever you listen to the show. Leave me a comment if you liked what you heard. If there's a topic or you know a guest who would love to tell their story, email me at tdecora@gmail.com. Glad you could join us today. Our mission is to share stories and conversations that make you cry, laugh, and think, stimulating emotions, creating laughter, and inspiring the mind. A new episode will air on Monday and Thursday morning featuring a wide range of guests. The podcast will touch on many subjects such as grief, loss of a loved one, recovery, professional setback, mental illness, success despite challenges, etc. Our guests will share how they learn to survive and thrive. This is where we get into the episode and guest intro. According to the internet, and the internet is always right, correct, Max?
Yeah, most of the time I think.
Most of the time he thinks. According to an AI artificial intelligence overview, in the most recent NCAA transfer portal period for men's basketball, and that's 2025, a record-breaking 2,320 players entered the portal. This represents a significant increase compared to previous years, with the number exceeding 2,000 for the fourth consecutive year. The transfer portal, which opened March 24, 2025, saw a surge in players, reaching a total of 2,560 as of today. Today, I welcome Max Weisbrod to the Buck and Honey's remote studios. Raised in DeForest, Wisconsin, Max attended DeForest High School and is a proud Norski, where he excelled in football and basketball. After high school, Max would take his talents to the University of Northern Michigan, where he was a member of the men's basketball team. He received a ton of accolades in his time for the Wildcats, including the 2023 GLIAC, that is the Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Say that 5 times as fast as you can. Freshman of the Year and All GLIAC second team. And in 2024, kind of the top thing if you're an individual in that conference, he was the GLIAC Player of the Year and All GLIAC first team. Max is currently a member of the University of Northern Iowa men's basketball team, where he appeared in all 33 games this past season and started the last 12 games. Today, I'm so glad he could join us. Max Weisbrod, what is up?
I'm glad you could have me. Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely, Max. I couldn't, when I saw that you were on your way home, I think I caught up with you on Instagram. I thought of, and I don't know if I've reached out to you earlier before, but I thought, it'd be cool to have you on just because you're going to be touching on the transfer portal.
Yep.
And I've got some friends that are in the basketball world, old timers like myself, and they ask me those questions. What's the transfer portal like? What's the NIL like? And I think I thought, there's probably somebody I could reach out to, and you were the guy.
Perfect. So I'm glad to be here.
You're in town until June 5th. I'm so glad you could find some time for the podcast. What are you up to now back in DeFo?
Yep. So we start our summer practices June 9th. We go June, July, and then we get August off.
Good.
So I got like 23 days on right now. Yeah, really just get home, relax a little, hang with the family, see some old friends, just kind of a change of scenery for a little bit before we get back going for the next year.
Yeah, are you chasing the white ball around? Are you, I know you said you got some workouts in this morning, so you are still going to work out. It's not like you're taking time off, but you're still going to work. What else?
Yeah, like today I went out to breakfast with my brother and sister.
Oh, yeah.
Just hung out with them, and then me and my sister came and rebounded for me. So it's just different too, like working out at home, just a little like less, it's just do what you want to do, not as much pressure and stuff,
Speaking of DeForest and the Windsor Golf Course, is that the sports complex or is that open now?
So they just opened. It's called the WAC, Windsor Athletic Club.
Okay.
And it's right past the golf course. And I just bought a 4-month membership for it for like the summer. Yeah, it's cool. They got a weight room, sauna. They got nice basketball courts, pickleball courts, soccer courts, everything.
How many courts they have in there?
They got 3, but one's like pickleball only, or maybe 4, 3 for sure.
Okay. Well, maybe we can get them on board to do a little sponsorship.
For real, we should.
Yeah. With summer right around the corner, what are you looking forward to this summer back in Cedar Falls?
Yeah, I'm really just looking forward to getting better and getting in better shape. This is going to be my first off season in a while, just dealing with some injuries. So first full off season in a while. I'm excited to work with my team too.
What is there to do in Cedar Falls? Because I've been there once, and it was not the middle of the winter. I want to say it was November, but what is there to do down there?
It's always about the people, not the place. It's what you make of it. And our team has fun. We all live on the same street, so that's fun. We watch a lot of games. We just hang out, basically, make our own fun.
Do you guys golf at all?
Yeah, we do golf, and we got memberships at this one course. So I golfed like 4 times before I came home.
Oh, and are you hitting in the low 40s or?
I wish. If I break 50, it's a good day. Let's just say that.
Do you have a nice spray game like I do, where I'll get up there and I'm not sure where it's going to go. It goes forward, but sometimes I just don't know where.
I feel like I used to play baseball as a kid, and my golf swing's just always kind of never adjusted.
You're never interlocking like me. I just got one hand on top of the other one. Yeah, I love it. Before we get to your story, I need to talk about our sponsor real quick here. So our sponsor, Buck and Honey's Restaurants, are a place that people can escape to. For me, it's a great escape from cooking dinner. Do you cook dinner?
That is kind of a touchy subject, but I try to cook as much as I can. It's also, I'm not that good of a cook, but breakfast and lunch, I got breakfast and lunch covered. Yeah. Dinner's questionable sometimes.
Okay, with their great food and drink menu, 5-star customer service, and a welcoming and vibrant atmosphere, people keep coming back. With locations in Sun Prairie, Monona, Wanakee, and Mount Horeb, most communities in the Dane County area can get to a Buck and Honey's within 10 to 15 minutes. And this is where I do a little drum roll. And my table, the sports desk here is very acoustically sound. Have you been to Buck and Honey's?
I have been to Buck and Honey's, the one in Wanakee, and it was delicious. I went with my grandparents.
You went with your grandparents. Did you have to wear a secret mask at all? Because that's enemy territory.
It is enemy territory, but no, I didn't have to that time.
No, I think you always had a good vibe with the Wanakee folks.
Hopefully.
In segment 1, we talk about what was it like. So we'll talk a little bit about your history and growing up. What happened to get you on the podcast, and really wasn't anything tragic. In segment 2, we continue to talk about kind of what happened and then get into what it's like now. And we discuss your 5 suggestions for thriving. So segment 1, what was it like before and then what happened? So you grew up in DeForest, and affectionately known in the area as DeFo. What was life like growing up for you in DeForest, Wisconsin?
I originally was living in like Sun Prairie condos until I was like, my dad had the coaching job at DeForest, but we were still living over there. And then I think probably like elementary school, we finally moved to DeForest, moved there, and then I started going there full time. So
you could have been a Sun Prairie Cardinal.
I could have been a Sun Prairie Cardinal a couple times actually. Yeah, funny story we can maybe get into a little later.
Absolutely. So tell our listeners about your family growing up.
So my parents got divorced when I was little, and then my dad got remarried to my stepmom when I was like 4, 5, 6. I don't really know. Everyone has a great relationship. They all get along. I'm very blessed for that. And then
that doesn't always happen, but
they get along. It's way easier on me. My brother and sister, I have a brother who's a sophomore at DeForest, Sam, and a sister who's a freshman at DeForest, Lucy. And yeah, they're cool. They kind of fight sometimes because they be talking to each other's friends and stuff, and it's just a lot of drama, but they do get along, and they're good people.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned earlier that you took them out for breakfast, because they're going to have to put you in a nursing home someday, so you might want to make sure you grease the skids a little bit so they do put you in a nice one. DeForest High School class of 2022, you had a little bit of a unique sports experience. We'll get into that in a little bit. You were involved in sports which were going to talk about. But besides the sports stuff, and you excelled in football and excelled in basketball, what are you most proud of outside of sports?
I would probably say like just my like presence in the community, maybe. I don't know. Like talking to little kids. I feel like I always did the camps and stuff. I feel like I still know a lot of kids that are in high school nowadays. Like I just went to high school today. I said hey to a kid. I don't know. I feel like just how the youth looks at me maybe is what I'm most proud of.
I suppose you get a little bit of the starstruck now when you walk into the building and you're going to visit maybe your dad. You're walking into the gym to see your dad, and I'm sure you probably had a lot of eyes. Oh, there's Max.
Yeah, for sure.
And then some of the kids that you've worked with at camp and whatnot probably come over and run over, and that's got to be kind of good to feel like that.
Yeah, it's definitely good to feel that.
So in high school, you would play for your dad, Craig Weisbrod, on the high school basketball team. You were a 4-year player scoring over 1,400 points. What was it like to play for your dad?
There's definitely some ups and downs. There's some days we come home, we were not talking. Overall, I wouldn't have traded it for anything. It was a great experience, and I loved playing for him, and I'm glad that he did it. And he coached us all the way from like second grade, my whole grade. So I just feel like he was always super close to my friends and stuff. And yeah, like I said, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
So what were some of the moments where he was a little bit tough on you? How did that come about?
He was pretty tough on me always. I remember my freshman year one time, he pulled me aside and just said like, he was not probably worse words than this, but like, you got to stop messing around. You're going to ruin it for all our seniors. You're doing all like that. And then, but I also probably deserved it back then too. I was probably being dumb and messing around in practice.
What was your top moment where you were like, all right, this is why, as I think about my playing days, this is one of the one or two top moments I had playing for my dad. What was that?
Probably getting the first regular season conference championship. That was the first one he ever got. It was my senior year. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, last one to do it, or last chance to do it for him, and I'm glad we got it done.
And correct me if I'm wrong, because I should remember, because your dad and I have been friends for a long, long time, but I still remember. So when you graduated and left, he was done then?
Yeah, he retired. He retired when I left, yeah.
And that was kind of cool that you guys could celebrate that. You also celebrated, just because I had the opportunity to play in the state basketball tournament, and I know from being around and seeing you and your dad, you probably went to the state tournament with him, probably since you can remember. What was that like, albeit a little bit different? Was the 2021 Division I state qualifier. You qualified for the state tournament. What was that like winning sectionals?
Yeah, I mean, dream was always playing the Cole Center, but stuff's out of my control. So yeah, we played in the Bucks G League
up in Oshkosh.
Yeah, Oshkosh, that's where it was. So yeah, I mean, it was super cool. I mean, we played up. We were in D1 that year, made it D1, and yeah, it was just a cool experience. Winning sectionals was an awesome day. That whole playoff run, we played at Baraboo High School every game, every playoff game we played there, and yeah, it was an Oshkosh Bucks G League. We played Kimberly, kind of got destroyed, but it was still it was a good experience,
Well, I was pulling for you guys just because of the relationship I had with your dad, and of course I've always been a Max Weisbrod fan, so I was just hoping that you guys could have got it done, but you ran into a pretty good team. During the 2020 season,
my sophomore year.
Your sophomore year is a little bit unique because you went through the whole season, you played the regionals, and they started the sectionals, and then they shut the whole thing down. So there was not a state championship that year. And then you fast forward to the year that you guys qualified for the Division I state tournament in 21. You guys had to play with masks on. Talk about that a little bit, of what that was like, because that was the whole year though.
So my sophomore year, we were one game away to go to state. We won, and then it just got canceled, so that sucked. And then, junior year, since we were in Dane County, we couldn't even practice in our own gym, basically. We had to be 5 feet away. So we were busing to the Jag.
6 feet.
Yeah, 6 feet. My fault. Yep. We were busing to the Dells, the Jag, like 3 times a week to practice. And then we would play games. Every single game we had was with a mask. We would go to, I remember we played Beaver Dam. It was their 12th game of the year. It was our first game. We had to wear masks, and they didn't. And they beat us, and they it was just I was like, wow, this is how it's going to be. We got to figure it out,
And you guys were road warriors because I was coaching girls.
Yeah, we didn't play a single game in Dane County that year. Every road game.
So you guys qualified for the state tournament. What was that like playing with a mask on compared to now? I mean, if you can remember back, I mean, we're all mentally scarred by that time, but what was that like?
Yeah, I remember I switched like what mask I wore like 5 times. Like I would try this one, try a different one. I mean, it was obviously just harder and just like gross, but towards the end of the year, I was sliding mine down a little, just playing through that. I got subbed one game though against Lodi, at Lodi. The refs made me go out the game because my mask wasn't on.
Oh, really?
It was too low, yeah. It's like, what?
Well, they were probably pretty conscious of that.
Yeah.
So after high school, you receive a scholarship offer from the University of Northern Michigan. And that was your only scholarship offer, which is hard to believe that you fell through the cracks, but I get it. Sometimes people and players do. What was other than the scholarship, was there another lure for Northern Michigan and to be specific, Marquette, Michigan?
I wouldn't say there was no like lure there, but I mean, Coach Matt offered me, I think after my sophomore AAU. So he offered me really, really young. I mean, I think COVID, like all the extra roster spots, the 5th years, I think that kind of hurt my recruitment a little. But I'm super glad I went there. I feel like I developed there, and that's what I needed, honestly.
So you have 2 really great seasons in Marquette, Michigan. Before we get to some of those accolades again, what's life like up there, Marquette, Michigan? I know it's probably colder than snot in the winter, but what else? What's it like up there?
It's honestly a super beautiful place, and I honestly love it there. I was never like a big outdoors person or any of that stuff, but like the nature there is just so beautiful, and it's just like it's peaceful, it's calm, it's like a tight knit little community, and I feel like that's probably why it feels like home, or like that's why I liked it the most. But yeah, we would kind of just hang out, just chill. We played poker a lot, played cards, just hang with the guys,
You absolutely tore up the GLIAC, the Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. I'm not going to make you say that 5 times in a row. I don't think I could get it out. But your freshman of the year, which is kind of the top award, other than if you would have won the player of the year your freshman year, but you didn't, that would come your sophomore year. Besides the individual stuff, because I think that's really cool that you were able to accomplish a lot of those things and that set the table for what's going on now. But besides the individual stuff, what are some of the fond memories you have of some of the team things?
So my freshman year, we won the conference tournament. So we made the NCAA tournament. And then my second year, sophomore year, we won the regular season tournament or conference championship. So I feel like it was cool to skip do both of them and go to the NCAA tournament 2 years in a row.
Well, that was good. Then you got on your resume, you won conference your senior year, high school, and then you just kind of kept it rolling with freshman and sophomore year. You hit a game winner in there.
One game, like buzzer beater.
One buzzer beater. Tell us who that was against, and give me the backdrop. Paint the picture here first.
It was against Lake Superior State, and they were always tough. I hated playing them. That was the only gym I never won in.
Really?
Never won at their place, but they had a good team. And we were down late, and I just honestly started chucking stuff. Yeah, and I got hot, and I hit like 3 shots in a row, and then I think I hit a shot to tie it up, and then they came down and I fouled them. I fouled the dude with like 2 seconds left. Oh,
yes, I do remember
And he made one and missed a second, and then we got to half court, called timeout, and Coach Matt drew up a beautiful play, and I shot faked, the dude jumped, and I banked it in. I mean, I wasn't trying to bank it, so it's kind of lucky probably, but...
And we can catch that on YouTube somewhere?
Yeah, you can catch it on YouTube somewhere.
After the 2023-24 season, in which you are voted or you earn the Player of the Year award, you decide to enter the transfer portal, and that's why we got you on the show today. Because there's some people ask me, do you know what the transfer portal is about? Do you know? I kind of do it, but it's from my own opinion and what I read. But today we've got you here to kind of shed some light on that through your own eyes. But from when we talked about setting this whole thing up, your experience is a little bit different than other people's. I mean, you can kind of talk about other people's. You're here to talk about your own, but I think you shedding light on both situations is gonna be cool for the listener. Who did you lean on for advice, or when you when the season ended and those awards came out, when did you decide, I think I might want to take a shot at going up and maybe getting satisfying a dream of mine that was to play Division I?
Yeah, so Division I was always my dream. So this was kind of when I decided. It was like, so yeah, freshman of the year, player of the year, and then we won the conference tournament, then we won the regular tournament. Obviously, like go for national championship, but like I kind of accomplished all my goals I had in that league, and I felt like it was just time to do something new, challenge myself more. I basically just wanted to challenge myself and see how the best possible player I can be.
During that whole process, was there, besides your family, or did you talk to somebody else? Who'd you talk to that you wanted to run that by?
My AAU coaches, my dad were the main people I talked to about everything, and they were all super helpful. My AAU coaches couldn't have done a lot of stuff without them. They're super blessed to have them. Coach Siebert and Coach DePau, they always helped me with everything. And yeah, just my family, talked it through them, and then kind of decided.
And then you had to get a little courage. Did you have to have a little courage, or what kind of relationship did you have with your head coach?
So me and Coach Matt Mackerjack had a great relationship. He's one of my favorite people to this day. He recruited me. He's one of my good friends. I consider him a friend. We had meetings about it. Like he knew what was going on and stuff. And when I decided to enter the portal, he was probably my number one supporter, and he helped me through the entire thing. He just wanted me to go to a spot where I would succeed, and that he didn't think was he didn't want me to go to a spot that wasn't worth it,
I think there's some questions that I'm going to ask in segment 2, because we've got a mental health component to the podcast. I'm going to ask you a question when we come back for segment 2 that I think will help people understand, and then look at the mental health stuff. So we'll get to that here in a little bit. Buck and Honeys has been with the Survive and Thrive 8791 crew since the beginning, with 4 locations in the Madison area. One is always near. People ask me why Buck and Honeys. Owner Tom Anderson places a high priority on the mental health of his employees. He has a mental health professional available for them should they need support. I don't know how many businesses go above and beyond their EAP, Employee Assistance Program, but Buck and Honeys does. After the 2023-24 men's basketball season, Max Weisbrod decides to take his chances and enter the transfer portal. In segment 2, you'll hear how that process worked out for Max and how he survived and is thriving at the University of Northern Iowa. Please stay tuned. Don't change that channel. You're not going to want to miss segment 2 of Survive and Thrive 8791. We will be back.
If you, a loved one, or someone you know is experiencing a physical, mental, or emotional crisis, there is help and resources out there. Contact NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness Helpline, at 1-800-950-6264. This is a free service providing information, resource referrals, and support to people living with a mental illness, their family, providers, and the public. United Way 211 is available 24/7, 365, and offers free confidential assistance. They connect people with the local programs and services that can help. Dial 211. Emergency Crisis Services, dial 911. The Suicide Prevention Lifeline, dial 988. To connect via web, chat, visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org. Along with those numbers, there is help. You just need to say 3 words. I need help. Now, back to the show.
We are back. Welcome back to segment 2 of Survive and Thrive 8791. I'm your host, Coach Tim Decora. The podcast is where I feature guests who share their story in hopes of helping others who might be struggling with what life throws at them. Max Weisbrod is here today to share his story about how he went through the college men's basketball transfer portal process and how that turned out for him. He hopes his story will help others who might be in a similar situation to survive and thrive, just like he has so far in life in his college basketball world. Since the show has a mental health component to it, you shared in your bio that you sent me last night that you were excited about the portal process. And we talked off air about how you went about the process? You talked to your AAU coaches, you talked to your dad. There had to be a point where, how am I going to tell Coach Matt? Talk about how you were feeling, what you were thinking. Were you nervous? Were you anxious? Were you feeling bummed out that you were going to have to talk to your coach, a guy who took a chance on you and has supported you through your first 2 years of college and has kind of essentially gave you the keys to run the team? What were you thinking leading up to that knock on that door or hitting that send button? Can I come over and talk to you, Coach? What was going on?
Yeah, obviously it's very nervous and anxious to tell the one person that offered you that you want to leave. And so, of course, I was stressing about it for a while. And then one day when I finally decided, I just told him I want to meet. And I went in there and I told him that this is what I'm going to do. And he kind of helped me calm down a lot because he was just supporting me. And he's like, I don't want you to leave, but if you are going to leave, I want you to go to the best spot for you, and I'm going to help you do that. And I thought that was just shows how good of a guy he is. And because I feel 8 out of 10, maybe 9 out of 10 coaches would never do that. They would be mad or screw this guy. But he was just there to support me and help me.
So your state of mind had to completely 180 degrees go the other way because you kind of knew, based upon your relationship with him, that he was probably going to be supportive, but until you actually heard it, there was probably still a little bit of, is he going to kick me out of the office?
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a weight lifted off my shoulder. Just felt better about everything. That if he's going to support me, then I think this is the right decision.
Besides your parents, besides your AAU coaches, you mentioned you told somebody else first as well at Northern Michigan. And who was that?
My best friend, Brian Parzik. He played, I played 2 years with him. He played the same AAU as me, Wisconsin Swing. So we've known each other for a while. And yeah, after I committed, I called up Brian and basically told him that I was going to leave. And he still had one more year, so it was his senior year. So I was going to be gone for senior year. And once again, too, it's just, I'm grateful for the people around me. He was nothing but supportive. He's like, I'm happy for you. I'm excited to watch you, man. Just hyping me up, not being mad at all or anything.
Did you receive any negative backlash from fans once the news broke about you leaving?
I would say not maybe there's obviously some people that were mad at me, but I would say more bums and we're going to miss you. But some of the students, I'd say the students more, other athletes were mad at me, kind of.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have some goals.
Yeah, exactly.
And we talked a little bit about this. One of your goals was you had mentioned it already that you wanted to challenge yourself, and you had some dreams and aspirations out of high school, and maybe they didn't happen right away, but eventually they did. So you had some fans bummed. You had some other athletes. Why are you leaving? I think they probably only felt that because of what you meant to the university and the athletic program. I mean, winning a player of the year doesn't always happen. It only happens to one person and one team in the league. It's a unique situation. Did you notice any change after you put it on Instagram, after you put it on Twitter, social media, entering the transfer portal, and you had some of your friends support you, your coach supported you? Did you feel like things changed mentally for you at all?
Yeah, I would definitely say going into the unknown is a very scary thing. And you don't know where you're going to go. You're leaving your home for the last 2 years. You're leaving your friends for the last 2 years. You're leaving all you really know. And so, yeah, I think it's just kind of scary, I'd say, is the biggest thing.
So you go into the portal. Let's say if I'm a college athlete and I had a really good freshman year and I know you from playing in the Badger Conference, and I call you up and I say, hey, Max, this is so-and-so from Stoughton. Oh, yeah, I remember you. hey, I think I'm going to go in the portal. What do I do? What do I do? So tell me what you would tell me.
So basically, you gotta go on like whatever website it is, and you have
Probably the NCAA.
Yeah, NCAA website, and then you have your NCAA ID number. Everyone has one. You gotta put that in. You gotta fill out a bunch of information, and then I think you get processed, get sent, and then you need someone at your school. So like this, it was like our
Compliance officer.
Yeah, compliance office lady. You have to tell her, and then she's going to send you one thing. You fill that thing out, and then they'll send you an email, and then you're in the portal then.
Okay. You get into the portal, and then what else happens now? So I'm in the portal. Do I reach out to people? What's going to happen? My phone going to blow up? What's going to happen?
But yeah, so once you enter the portal, you basically just go on this website and it just keeps refreshing. And so I think the two things about the portal is there's people that like played good and then they want to transfer and move up, and there's people that didn't play and then they got to transfer either down or a different spot. So if you go in the portal and like you had a great year, your phone's gonna be going off and stuff. But if you didn't if you didn't play that much and you want to play more, I'd say you probably you'll still get, depends on where you're at, you'll still get calls and stuff. But like you probably got to reach out more then. You got to do more recruiting for yourself than if you didn't play.
Okay, so you end up at Northern Iowa, and were there other places? So did you have to do a little bit of selling yourself, or were more people calling you?
More people were calling me though, probably. I don't know, wasn't really selling myself, just kind of talking, building relationships. And
were you willing to go anywhere to achieve that goal of playing Division I basketball, or did you ID certain areas of the U.S.?
Yeah, I definitely kind of want. So my last school was 5 hours away, and it was time zone change. So it was kind of hard for me to. I could never go home, and it was hard for people to come to games. So I kind of want to stay close to home was my main thing. But if there was a great opportunity elsewhere, I would go. But it's just kind of how it worked out. And yeah, so I kind of narrowed my list down. And Northern Iowa is only 3 hours away from Madison, so it's pretty just good and nice and close to home.
And then you talked about some other schools that were interested. Talk about those other schools.
I was going to take 4 visits. I was going to go to Northern Iowa. I was going to go to Milwaukee. I was going to go to Toledo, and then I was going to go to Oakland. And then Northern Iowa was my first visit. And so I just had foot surgery a week, 2 weeks prior, so I was in scooter. And Northern Iowa I visited, and just Ben Jacobson, the championship culture, everything was just I kind of knew right away, and I didn't really want to waste my time with other places. So I just committed on my first visit there. It was a 3-hour visit, committed, and then it was done with,
Did they put you up in a nice hotel? Did they put the spotlights on and have a jersey? Was it cool?
Well, so mine is a little different because I had foot surgery. So I had foot surgery, so I was in scooter. So I was kind of I had to take medicine and stuff. But normally they would. Mine was just we drove up there and we drove back. But the transfers that the people I visited this year, yeah, they get a hotel, photo shoot, we bring them out to lunch, dinner, give them the full, we gotta sell them full spiel,
You appeared in all 33 games this past season, and the game I went to against, ironically, the University of Milwaukee, where you could have went to, Wisconsin-Milwaukee. But you appeared in all 33 games this past season, and the last 12 games you were in the starting lineup. Tell us about the season that you had, because for you to transfer from Division II to Division I don't know if you had aspirations of starting, but you started the last 12 games. Tell us about how your experience was this year.
So obviously I knew I could play at that level, but it's obviously an adjustment, and that it was adjustment. But I think the thing that hurt me most was I had foot surgery at the end of my sophomore year, so I was recovering from that. So I missed practice all of June and July. So the start of the season I really wasn't playing that much just because I was out of shape and I couldn't play. I wasn't moving good. And I'd say the biggest difference, you could say even more than the athleticism, is just the D1 shape. You got to be the shape. You have to be in elite shape to play, just to do everything that you need to do to stay out on the floor. And yeah, so the season goes on. I was in kind of down, I just transferred to school. I'm not even playing. This sucks. Why did I transfer all this? And I'd say I had a pretty rough month, like mentally, where I was like, I can't believe I did this. Like, this is the biggest mistake ever. I was like, okay, so I can either be like this the rest of the year, or I can like have a different way of going about things. And that's kind of when I just tried to start being positive every single day. And I started working. I worked harder, got in shape, did extra stuff. And then by the middle of the season, I was kind of getting back to like normal. And then we had some injuries that gave me a little bit of more opportunity, and I just took advantage of it. And then the last 12 games, I played pretty good, so stuck in there, you know.
All right, currently you will be entering your last season of college basketball. Mm-hmm. It's hard to believe. I mean, I've known you probably since you were born, mm-hmm. and then seen you running around in your dad's games and whatnot. Any goals for the upcoming season, individual, team? What are you looking forward to for the 25-26 season?
Only one goal, and that's to get a trophy at the end of the year.
Get a trophy.
Either regular season or conference tournament. Hopefully we get both, but we gotta get one. We're gonna try to get one. That's the goal.
And goal would be to play in the NCAA.
Mm-hmm. Probably got to win the conference tournament to go to the NCAA tournament, though, unless we have a unbelievable regular season. But yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Have you thought about, after college basketball is over, I know there's the common phrase with some people as well, no, I'm focusing one day at a time, 1 week at a time, and 1 year at a time, but there's got to be a little bit of what are you going to do when your playing days are over at the college level? What are you going to do?
I don't really want to get a real job ever. That's my goal. I have two options I'm going to do. I'm either going to like try to play overseas professionally for a couple of years, like just see the opportunities I have before I decide and all that. And then I'm going to get into coaching, I think, college coaching. I think that's where my heart is at, my passion. I think I'll have some opportunities to do that, and yeah, I'm pretty excited for that.
I think having had a dad as a high school basketball coach, you know what goes into being a coach, the X's and O's stuff, and then certainly having the experience at Division II and now Division I, I think those are going to make you a very viable candidate for a GA position or video coordinator.
Yeah, video coordinator.
Video coordinator, okay. All right, this is where the subscribers, followers, and listeners take out the notebooks, pens, or pencils and jot these things down. Here are Max's 5 suggestions that have allowed him to survive and thrive while navigating the transfer portal, and really is just his basketball journey in general. But we talked about these a little bit off air leading up to this, and I thought there were some very good ones. So I'm going to toss these in underhand softball style, and I'm just going to say, Max, go ahead and hit that. And looking at my clock, we'll say take about 2 minutes on each of these if you can. A little less, a little more. Try to do your best. So here's what you shared. Number 1, I like this one right away. Family. Go ahead and hit that. Why is that important?
I feel like family's probably the most important thing in my life. Like, if you didn't have your family, I don't know what else much you have, you know? And I just think they're always there supporting me. They're always coming to my games. And I feel like they're just always looking out for the best and want me to be the best version of myself. My brother and sister are awesome. They're a little young, so I don't get to, like, they're kind of in high school, growing up now, so I don't get to see them as much. But it's super cool to see them, just see how they're, like, growing up, becoming the people they're becoming. And then, yeah, my dad was my coach. He's always hard on me. And my mom is amazing. My mom's a teacher at Deerfield, never does anything I need. And my stepmom is super awesome, supportive as well.
I would agree 100% that, and like you said earlier, you could have, your parents got divorced when you were young, and you could have one going against the other, but you don't have that. I've seen it. You got a great family. Number 2, taking care of your body. Go ahead and hit that.
I've kind of dealt with some injuries my college career. So after my freshman year, I broke my right foot. It was just a stress fracture. So I was a boot for a while. And then right when I came back from my right foot break, I broke my left foot, had to get surgery. So then I kind of rushed back from surgery to get ready for my sophomore season. I was so bad coming back because I came back like a week before our first scrimmage, and I was bad. And I played bad for probably until Christmas break. And then I kind of figured it out and played good, obviously, the rest of the year. And that was that. With 5 5 or 6 games left in the regular season, I broke the same exact spot in my left foot again, and I had to have surgery again. But I finished the year off on it, and then I had surgery and entered the portal. So I've kind of said that, like, that stuff just kind of changes you now. Like, I do so much different stuff. I'm lacrosse ball on my feet every day. I'm stretching every day. I'm eating better, just everything, because, like, it just sucks. Like, you don't want to keep getting hurt, and if there's stuff you can do to prevent it, I'd say before you get hurt, just start doing it now.
Number 3, friends. Go ahead and hit that.
I mean, I'm super grateful for my friends. I love them all. My high school friends, my NMU friends, my UNI friends. It's amazing. Northern Michigan, my cousin went there. Max Weisbrod, she's on the girls team. She's a stud. She was like, her and Brian were my 2 closest, and Aiden Blau, they're my 3 closest friends. And they're always there for me, always hanging out with them. And I just feel like life's not fun unless you have people to go along with you. And when you're at college, away from your family, your friends kind of are your family.
Yeah, good point. They're like your second family, and they got your back. Sure. Number 4, positive attitude. And dude, that's all I've seen out of you. I don't think I've seen you get down a little bit in games, but you seem to bounce back all the time. But your positive attitude, go ahead and hit that.
Yeah, so I mean, I've always tried to have a positive attitude, but really when I was in my low point at the start of the year, I just made I was like, I'm done with this. Like every day I wake up, I just try to bring positive vibes and make my teammates or whoever I'm with just uplift them. And I just try to bring, I don't know, I feel like life's just more fun when you're happy and you're smiling and you're having a good time. And so I just make that an emphasis in my life. Every day I wake up, I say, good vibes today, bring energy, bring, I don't know, good vibes. That's what.
Yeah, no, I love it. And number 5, last one, everything happens for a reason. Let things happen. Hit that.
Yeah, so like everything happens for a reason. So out of high school, I had one Division II offer. I went there, and it was literally the greatest experience of my life. Like obviously I probably wanted to go Division I out of high school, but it just didn't happen. Went there, and then portal 2, you and I, it was a struggle at the start, but everything happens for a reason, and I had a great end of the year, great experience, and I love it there now. Completely switched up how I felt about it. I feel like you just got to if you're doing the right stuff, you just got to let the course go, and good things are going to happen for you.
What a great episode. I'm so glad you could join the Survive and Thrive 8791 crew today. Your story and how you've thrived after some uncertainty and ultimate D1 offer that you got from Northern Iowa and probably some of those other schools is inspiring. Your story reminds us all to have coping skills or mental health tools in the toolbox that you had to go to a little bit, and certainly friends and family, when an opportunity like this one comes along. And despite leaving a great situation in Northern Michigan, you adapted, you survived that first part of your experience at Northern Iowa, and you have been thriving ever since. Our call to action, Max Weisbrod just shared his story and what it's like to enter the college men's basketball transfer portal and come out with a Division I offer. He learned a thing or two about the portal, and his story will help others navigate their journey through it. Here are Max's 5 suggestions that helped him survive and thrive that process. Number 1, family. Number 2, taking care of his body as an athlete. Number 3, leaning on friends for support. Number 4, having a positive attitude every day. He wakes up in the morning, positive vibes. And number 5, everything happens for a reason, so let things happen as long as you're doing the right things. As we close another great episode of Survive and Thrive 8791, are there any final thoughts, Max?
No final thoughts, but I just got to say thank you for having me on the podcast, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Max. Like you said, when I started this whole thing and was thinking about guests to have on the podcast, believe it or not, I'm glad I still have you on speed dial, because I really wanted to have somebody come on and talk about the portal. And I was racking my brain. I'm like, God, who can I talk to? And boom.
Perfect.
There's Max Weisbrod on my shoulder. Wait, hey, I'll come talk. On our next episode of Survive and Thrive 8791, we will have another amazing guest in the Buck and Honey's remote studios who will share how they learned to survive and thrive. If you have a story to share or you know someone who does, please reach out to me at tdecora@gmail.com. Until next time, hang in there with whatever you are going through, and with hard work, dedication, and determination, you can survive and thrive. Until next time, take care.